So of course I met Jimi Hendrix there, but it was very casual. But after
Sure.
Monterey Pop, A Country Joe and the Fish, and the Jimi Hendrix Experience, we toured together for about 2 weeks up and down the California coast. They would open for us, we would open for them. It was just it was just a nice tour. And I had this habit of taking my guitar and going into the dressing room of the other band and sitting down and meeting the guitar players and playing with them a little bit. So I went into the I guess that's how I got to know Jimmy.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Lehigh Valley with Love podcast. Today we're talking with David Bennett Cohen, a founding member of Country Joe and the Fish and a keyboard player whose sound is rooted in blues and early rock. He moved to San Francisco in '65 and landed right in the middle of that Bay Area music explosion, shaping his approach on organ and piano in a scene that was changing fast. We get into some rock music history, his connection to that area, stories from the road, including one about Jimi Hendrix, a few about Jimi Hendrix. And we're talking with David ahead of his show at Godfrey Daniels with the David Bennett Cohen Trio on January 24th, 2026. If you're listening to this before the show, we are giving away some tickets. Head to lvwithlove.com for more details. Quick thank you to our sponsors, WDIY 88.1 FM, Wind Creek Event Center, Michael Bernardin of Remax Real Estate, Molly's Irish Grill and Sports Pub, and Banco Beverage Company for allowing us to do this. This is a really fun conversation. I can't wait for you to hear it, and let's get to it. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much, David Bennett Cohen. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and we appreciate it. And we're looking forward to having you in Bethlehem at Godfrey Daniels soon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing this interview, and thank you. I'm looking forward to Godfrey Daniels too.
Yeah, so you've been a professional musician for more than 60 years. You started with classical piano and went through a bunch of different musical genres throughout your life. When you look back, what were some of your, I guess, turning points when it comes to shaping your personal sound as a musician?
How much time you got?
Right, yeah, I know, it's kind of a...
Okay. I started playing classical piano when I was about 7, and I didn't like it. I was kind of forced to take piano lessons and practice an hour a day, but I never really learned very much, and it was kind of painful a lot of the time. But what I did learn was how to use my fingers. When I was about 13, I discovered the guitar, and that was a love affair. I just didn't do anything but play the guitar. Seriously, I'd get home from school about 3:30, go up to my room, play my guitar for 6 hours, do about 15 minutes of homework, and that was high school.
Right.
So, and I also discovered folk music. So I was part of the Washington Square folk music scene in Greenwich Village, and it was, of course, New York, and it was a total learning experience. So that was one turning point. In 1965, I'll say a couple of things about that.
Yeah, please.
One of the things as kids we were just trying to learn everything we could, and we used to practice things like tuning and changing strings. So we were very, very, our mentors were very particular about being in tune, especially. So
Sure.
That was drilled into me. In 1965, I migrated to San Francisco, and it was like a magnet. And I felt, back up a minute, I went to see the Beatles movies, and it was also another turning point for me. I thought it was, girlfriend, and I was just folk music. I wasn't interested in rock and roll. But a girlfriend of mine insisted, and we went to see the Beatles movies, and that was a whole scene. And so it changed my life, another turning point. So when I went to San Francisco, I went as a guitar player. I wasn't I hadn't really played much piano. There was nobody teaching what I wanted to learn back then. was like, we're talking about the 50s. So nobody was teaching. I wanted to learn boogie woogie. I wanted to learn blues, but there was no way to do it. Occasionally, I would learn a little. I would play a little piano, but it was only I was trying to learn some of that. So when I got to California, I fell into the music scene there in the Bay Area, and it was kind of percolating, and it was just amazing, wonderful scene. We were in Berkeley, and it was the whole scene was kind of making things up. All the bands were kind of evolving. You know, a couple of musicians would get together in a music store. They'd meet and they'd play together, and let's start a band.
Yeah, isn't that how they found Jim Morrison, like walking on the beach or something like that?
Jim Morrison wasn't in San Francisco.
Well, you know what I mean? Yeah, of course. But more importantly, you're a founding member of Country Joe and the Fish, and you helped define a very specific moment in rock history. Yep. And you're just talking a little bit about it. Like, when you think back about that time, what do you think about? Like, what stands out?
After Highway 61 came out, Country Joe and the Fish was a jug band. And Joe decided he wanted to become an electric band, and he wanted organ in the band. There was this old beat-up piano in this club we used to hang out at the Jabberwock, and every now and then I'd sit down and bang away. I'd play some boogie woogie or St. Louis blues. I had a very limited repertoire. But Barry Melton, who I also was playing with at that time, he actually loved the way I played the piano. I wasn't really serious about it. But when Joe was looking for a organ player, Barry said, well, David could play organ. Now, I have to say, I was totally intimidated by the organ. The only organs I ever saw were in the church or in the theater, multiple keyboards, stops, pipes all over the place. But they got me this. So I auditioned as a guitar player. And of course, I got the gig, but they really wanted me as on organ. So they got me this single keyboard Farfisa. It was just 61 keys. I took a look at it and I said, well, I could probably play that. But I wasn't really sure what to do. So I started stealing my guitar licks and putting them on the organ. And I get these reviews. What a unique style. Of course, I didn't know what I was doing. We were just making it up as I went along, which was what was happening in the whole Bay Area. I mean, who ever heard of folk music with drums and electric instruments?
Right. Is that part of like the beauty of that time? Is that they're just, not that there were no rules, but there were kind of no rules. It's like, what more can we do with these sounds, right?
Exactly right. That's exactly right. Fun. It was a magical time.
Well, and speaking of that, you played and or recorded with an incredible range of artists across blues and rock. Can you talk about a few musicians? I know it's like narrowing it down is kind of difficult, but some that kind of spring to mind that you really hold dear in your long career?
Sure. Okay. After Monterey Pop, which was in 1967, and I still have to say, of all the gigs I played over the years, that was the best gig I ever played. It was the way it was set up, the way it was produced. It was wonderful. So of course I met Jimi Hendrix there, but it was very casual. But after Monterey Pop, Country Joe and the Fish and the Jimi Hendrix Experience, we toured together for about 2 weeks up and down the California coast. They would open for us, we would open for them. It was just a nice tour. And I had this habit of taking my guitar and going into the dressing room of the other band and sitting down and meeting the guitar players and playing with them a little bit. So I went into the I guess that's how I got to know Jimmy. And I was playing, and I had this really nice Gibson guitar. And Jimmy, who was left-handed and had reversed his strings, was playing standard, but he said, "Let me see your guitar." I said, "Whoa." I said, "Sure." I handed it to him. He turned it upside down and and he started upside down and backwards,
Right.
and he started playing these incredible licks. And I said, "How'd you do that?" He said, "Well, when he was a kid in Seattle, if he went to a party and didn't have his guitar, he couldn't play because all guitars were strung for right-handed. So he learned how to play left-handed. So that was one."
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, oh, wow. Like how many times? I mean, you were on tour with them. So, I mean, you were kind of with them often, I would imagine. No.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good. It was nice. Who else? I toured with Mick Taylor.
Sure.
Mick Taylor was amazing guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun gig. We toured. We did what we call the zigzag tour. We started in New York. We went to Philadelphia. Then we went to Boston. Then we went to Pittsburgh. It was like all over the place. So that was, and Mick was just a really sweet guy. Everybody, all the guitar players are just wonderful. Very rarely do you find somebody who's, I don't know if I can say it, but
right. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like what's
rarely
the fun?
do you find guitar players that are jerks. But
sure. So I'm kind of interested. Like, what do you listen to currently? Do you listen to stuff from the past? Are you finding new bands? Do you listen to some of your contemporaries?
I listen to the blues.
Yeah,
I listen to blues, and that's about it. Sure. I listen to the blues stations when I listen. Currently, for the last, I think, 17 or 18 years, I've been playing in the Big Ed Sullivan's Blues Jam, which has been going on for 30 years.
Yeah.
Every Monday night at a club called the Red Lion in New York. And one of my favorite guitar player is Arthur Nielsen. He's just a delight to play with. He plays with Shamika Copeland. Also, another favorite guitar player is Greg Douglas. Greg played with Steve Miller. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's just a fabulous musician and a lot of fun to be with. What else? Who else? Of course, I've been doing some gigs recently with Barry Melton again, and that's been fun. We toured the UK, and then we did we've been doing gigs in New York. When he comes through, we play at the bitter end. We don't have anything set up just yet for this year, but I'm waiting to hear from his schedule.
And how do you approach music now to maybe, we talked about that incredible kind of Wild West feeling back in the day. Do you still get that same feeling from music today? Is it always kind of evolving? I mean, clearly you're still in love with it,
When it works. When it works, it's that way. If I'm playing in a band, so I do a lot of solo stuff. But when I'm playing in a band, when it works, it's magic. The magic is always there.
Hi there, this is David Bennett Cohen, and we're going to go down to New Orleans for a little while, and then we'll play some blues, and then we'll see how it is to work different chord changes using blues progressions and blues ideas.
One thing I wanted to mention is that my daughter, who is 9, is taking a piano lessons, and she's learning to read music. And you had mentioned that part of your whole thing is teaching. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I also teach music. I teach piano and guitar, and it's a big part of my life, a big part of my income. But I enjoy teaching. I started teaching almost when I first started playing the guitar, because kids would come up to me and say, "Hey, how'd you do that?" And I'd show it to them. and then they say, "Could I take some lessons?"
Sure.
So I charge them what, $3 or $5. So it developed into a real thing. And in 1975, I started working with Homespun tapes. So
Okay.
I have several. Hold on one second.
Sure. No, yeah.
I have several videos.
All right.
On Homespun tapes, videos and books, all about how to play blues piano, and it's all improvisation. I don't teach reading because you can learn that from anybody.
Right. Do you recommend would you recommend learning to read a little bit first and then go into improv, or just it's okay?
Well, I think for most people who start out, especially kids, they want to play something.
Yeah.
They don't just want to read music, because it's until they're able to do it smoothly, it's not going to sound like anything. But
okay.
So I think that getting somebody started would reading is important.
Sure.
I'm not saying not to learn reading, but
of course.
at the same time, in order to have some fun with the piano, you really have to be able to do it without reading.
Yeah, I agree. Like she, when for Christmas, long story short, she learned a song from one of her favorite artists on the piano.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the first thing when she went to the piano lesson, she showed her teacher that right away. That's the fun of it. So,
well, the internet is a blessing and a curse.
Yes, it is.
I have a guitar student who knows how to play snippets perfectly of many different songs, because that's the thing he wants to learn. He doesn't want to learn the whole song. He does, so it's tricky.
It's a challenge, yeah. Well, and then can people purchase those DVDs online?
Yes, of course, on Homespun tapes. Actually,
right. We'll make sure to get those.
Yeah, they have DVDs, and also they have digital.
Excellent. We'll make sure to link those as well.
They're mostly a guitar company run by Happy Traum. Happy and I go back to Washington Square Park.
That's so fun. You can continue it into today.
Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. Him and his brother Artie, they were old friends of mine. So now I still teach.
And let's talk a little. Have you played at Godfrey Daniels before? I apologize. I should know that.
I played at Godfrey Daniels many years ago with Reed Travascus.
Okay, so I won't put you on the spot, but to us, it's an incredibly special place, because it's just one of those few places where the point of it is to come in and listen and to hear stories and such. And can you kind of give us an idea of what we can expect when the David Bennett Cohen Trio comes to Bethlehem?
I'll be playing some Country Joe and the Fish songs.
Right.
I'll be playing some blues. I'll be playing some originals, and I'll be telling some stories.
Right. I mean, and we're looking forward to it. It's not every day you have. Well, I guess with Godfrey Daniels, though, it is. We were so lucky to have a spot like this in Bethlehem. That's unique. Can you talk about listening rooms at all? I mean, where are some of your favorite places to play? Godfrey Daniels is somewhat unique, at least in our area, in that it's designed for this type of music.
Well, in New York, there used to be a bunch of them.
Yeah, sure.
But now I like the Bitter End.
In New York City?
In New York City, yeah. It's the oldest club in New York, started in 1967 by Paul Colby, and taken over now by Paul Rizzo. And he's doing a wonderful job.
And then from Godfrey Daniels, are you continuing? Do you touring throughout the year? Are you no plans on stopping?
I play all the time. I play all the time, or as much as I can. As I said, I I play every Monday at the jam session, but that's just a jam session.
That's just for fun. But yeah, I mean, obviously people can find out more from your website and such.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure to link that in the in our show notes.
It's called Big Ed Sullivan's World Famous Blues Jam. We get people all over.
I would imagine, yeah. I mean, that's especially in the hot spot of New York City, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the hot spot of the Lehigh Valley on January 24th. So, David Bennett Cohen, thank you again. It's just amazing to be able to talk to you. That Jimi Hendrix story is wild, and we can't wait to see you on the 24th. If you want to get tickets, we have the tickets, the link in the show notes, and you can go to godfreydaniels.org for more information, and we hope to see you then.
It should be a really, really nice show. It's as I said, I play a lot of solo, I play a lot of trio, and I play a lot of band stuff. But
and then
go ahead.
The stories as well, just to have some of that conversation from somebody like you, truly, like that's part of the ambiance too, the experience.
Well, I already gave away the Jimmy story.
Well, you can tell it better. You can give some more details. Well, David, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, George. This is great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Really looking forward to this.
All these chicks got sex appeal. When they get to rocking, it's a real good feeling night.